Hey folks, back at you with another shootout video. Now this is not really going to be a shootout video with all the bells and whistles that you often see because I've done reviews of all these guitars, one of them at least twice. And I basically just because I have them, I want to do a comparison video and talk about some of the differences. So I have three semi-hollow body guitars. I just happen to have them in, and I thought it'd be good to sort of talk about these three guitars, and they're all budget guitars. They're all in the $250, sometimes even less. Sometimes you can get them, at 160, 180 price. You know that these models tend to fluctuate on Amazon. So first of all, let me get my specs ready for you so that I give you the correct information. We have the Indio Boardwalk semi-hollow. This is maple constructed, as most of these semi-hollows tend to be. Has the center block, rosewood fretboard, mother of pearl fret markers, white binding, sort of a trans black finish, which is quite nice. It's got some heft to it, what they're calling a translucent charcoal. Tunematic bridge, all blacked out. Cream binding, just the standard two humbuckers, three-way switch, and volume tone for each pickup on this one. Probably made for Monoprice or Indio, kind of a 335 style guitar. A lot of companies do this, and this one's pretty decent. It plays pretty well. It came to me pretty well. So that's item number one. Item number two is one that you're all familiar with, is one of the FF338 by Firefly. Same sort of thing, this time in chrome. This one here, let me make sure that I get the specs right. This is also a maple body, bound with the F-holes bound, rosewood fretboard, mother of pearl block inlays, bone nut, black pick guard, and it has this sort of matte green finish, also sort of modeled on Gibson's famous ES335, which is a popular body style. Again, you have the tone knob for each pickup, the three-way switch, and the tunematic bridge. Very flat black I should say, and this one's a top loaded jack, whereas the others are on the side. So that's number two. Number three is a slightly different version of the same idea. And this is a very slightly smaller body. And this is the IYV, was it the IJZ 300 TSB? And this also is, they're saying a mahogany body on this, and also Jatoba fretboard wood on this, and sometimes that changes. I've seen them with rosewood on them as well. This one has Jatoba, the same chrome sort of setup, and this one has a tailpiece instead of the stop tail, with the tunematic bridge. Slightly different inlaid blocks on this. Some of you don't like that first fret block, and this tobacco burst vintage style finish, slightly different shape. I think somebody said this is like a, what is it, Gibson 339 with this more Florentine style cutaway. So what do I think of these? Well, when it comes to finish, I would say that this one and the Boardwalk are my favorite. But there again, the Firefly does come in a gloss finish that probably matches these as well. But I think just looking over the guitars closely, I think the best finish is probably on the IYVs. I've had a few of each guitar, and I can say that quite comfortably. It's close. As far as sound goes, I also would have to put this one at the top. I just think these Destiny pickups are slightly better than what's in the other two guitars. playing through various amps. What else can I talk about? Playability out of the box. Again, this one came with the best setup, but the Indio also was set up really well out of the box as well. The Firefly is the one I have to do the most work on, but not as much as in the past. As far as weight goes, I would say that the IYV is the lightest. The other two are slightly heavier, but they're slightly bigger, as you can see. A little bit more wood on the guitar. Tuning, they're all about the same because they use pretty much the same tuners. Sound, I already talked about with the pickups. Mod platform, I would say they're all pretty equal when it comes to modding, and people buy these and mod each one of them. So what do I think is the advantage of each particular one? Well, I've kind of told you about this one. I think it is slightly the better guitar of the three. I like the fact it has the tailpiece. I think the finishes of Indio and Vina guitars are slightly better than Firefly and Indio, although that could go case to case. It's pretty close. And also I think this one has the better pickups and probably comes more consistently with a better setup. This particular model, for some reason, always comes with a really good setup, and I've had about 4 or 5 of them now. When it comes to the Firefly, I would say the advantage of this one is you get far more choices in color and finishes. For instance, this particular guitar you can get, I think, in 4 different colors, whether matte or gloss, which is nice. So there's a lot more range to your choices when it comes to Firefly. Also, if you're looking for an exact 335, the Firefly and the Indio are more accurate, matching that particular model than the IYV is. I think, based on this and previous experiences with Firefly, I think they are getting better. I had a few issues with ones I got when they first appeared on the market, and I did a video a while back asking if they were a little bit overrated because everybody was raving about them a little bit too much, a bit like the Glary models as well, but they're better than Glary for sure. So I think you've got more range with these. They make a number of variations. The new Pegasus guitars, the Synthesonic, I can't remember what the name is, but they have a few different hollow and semi-hollow options. So this is more of a full catalog range. They also have their own distributorship, so you can go to Guitar Garden and get these, or you can look for a more limited range on Amazon. I'm not sure if all these companies are available in the UK, Australia, and Europe. Let me know if that's the case. I'm really interested to know if I have any viewers from those areas. Are you seeing Indian Vina or IYV guitars on your Amazon UK, or Firefly or Indio guitars? I don't think Monoprice does anything in Europe, but I might be wrong. So yeah, for this I would say also you're getting more of a traditional rosewood board with the traditional trapezoid block inlays, which if you're a purist, that might be more attractive than what IYV is doing with their particular design. These are great mod platforms. A lot of people are getting these, putting their own tuners and pickups and other things on them. I've seen people put Bigsby's on these. Yeah, so I think there's a lot to offer from this. And also, right now, as of this moment, this is the cheapest of the three. Now, 2 weeks ago it wasn't. The IYV was the cheapest, but the IYV's gone up, and they've been offering these for $159 on Amazon. That might have changed because the other colors are $179, but still, it's a good bargain. So let's talk about the Monoprice, or the Indio. Again, you're getting a more traditional sort of look. It's a really nice charcoal burst with a little bit of flame, not too much. One thing I like about these is the blacked out hardware, which appeals to the goths among us. So you have blacked out stop tailpiece, blacked out pickups as well, black knobs. These are very competent. This one came really, really well set up. And another thing about these I really like, and where this has a jump on the other two companies, is they ship bags with these. So you get these in a bag, which is a big issue with me. Finding a gig bag for these, you'd probably buy an acoustic guitar to fit this, and they're always a bit too deep, and they slosh around in there. So it's nice if the company ships you a bag with it, and this company does. I think Monoprice is good about that with their marketing. Yeah, it has a lot of the same features as the Firefly, in that it has more traditional looking fretboard. Perhaps not quite as traditional looking headstock or logo on that. Now these are made in China. The Fireflies are made in China, and the Indio IYVs are made in Vietnam, even though it's a Korean company. So they're all really, really good guitars. I think these are going somewhere around $225, $250, but they fluctuate. You can sometimes find them cheaper. They also make the Helix series, which is a slightly smaller body without the F-holes on this. Also a range of colors, so you're getting a little bit more variation. Maybe not as much as Firefly, but a bit more than you do with the Indio IYV guitars. So those are the advantages there. All black hardware, nice gig bags that come with them, and you get some color options on these. So, you know, my preference out of the three is ever so slightly the IYV, and you know that to be the case because I've championed them in other videos, comparative videos. This is number 2, but this is just judging this against the matte green. I would say that this probably ties the gloss finishes of the Fireflies, and it's not far behind now. In terms of consistency, I find that IYV is the most consistent in how the guitars arrive and how much work I need to do on them. Rarely get one that has very deep issues. It's getting better with Indio and Firefly, but I still have to wrestle with the setups more commonly than I do with the IYVs. But it's very, very, very close, and it might be an aesthetic difference that tips you between these three, either these three models, these three colors, or these three brands in general and their offerings. Of course, you can also go and buy these from Monoprice Direct. It's a good idea to sign up for Monoprice and get on their mailing list for specials, because they often have blowouts on their guitars, sometimes including free shipping, and you can pick up every once in a while they do a blowout on one of their models, and you can get a really good deal from them. You know, probably the same with Guitar Garden as well, although I see more deeper sales on Monoprice than I do on Guitar Garden. As far as the IYV goes, you just watch the Amazon listings. The prices fluctuate like crazy. One guitar might be $235 one day and $180 the next. You know, so all three of them, if you price watch, you can pick them up. You know, at times when the prices are low and get a reasonable deal on them. They're all good mod platforms. You know, and they're all viable guitars for learning on, or you can soup them up and make them gig worthy if you want to as well. Of course, with the branded name guitars getting so high, I mean, if you want a real 335 or even Epiphone model, I mean, it's getting up. Epiphones are getting up into the $400, $500, $600 realm. So more and more people are looking into these $200, $300 guitars, which are consistently better made now than they were 20, 30, 40 years ago. So yeah, there's a lot of each of these companies has a sort of a fanboy site or a page on Facebook where people collect and show their mod projects and stuff like that. So there's a little bit of a you know, a buzz for all three of these companies. I just happen to have these three in at the same time and thought to do a comparison. If you want to hear them played, I have a video for each one of them that you can access where I play them a little bit. But I just thought, since I had them, might as well compare them and talk about the pros and cons. All right, folks, see you on the next one.